you to do is to start by putting 3 liquids under the liquid category. Okay. Can you please put 3 solids under the solid category? What happens when you freeze water?
It turns into a solid and ice.
Awesome. And what happens when you boil water?
It turns into a gas, and the rest of it gets really, really hot.
Cool. Can you show me an example of a gas? All right, draw a picture of ice, please.
Done and done.
What are some other ways that ice gets used?
We can use for drinks.
Yeah, could you draw a drink with ice in it?
Yeah.
What's another way that people use ice?
Ice skating, games for people to play on.
Okay, ice skating. Can you draw an ice skating rink?
I think they switch to kind of ice for to make the ice as solid as this table.
What's another way that you can use ice?
I know lots of ways you can put it on someone's wound if they get scraped by someone.
All right, so you want to draw that?
The person with ice on his leg by pulling it down.
Could you draw some water?
Yeah.
Okay. What ways do we use water?
Put out fires.
Oh, to put out fires. Can you do a drawing of that? What's another way that we use water?
Water plants.
Can you draw that, please? So tell me what you're drawing in this picture.
Well, this is a hose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's watering a plant.
We need to come up with a way that we can test that water, when frozen, turns into ice. How could we test that?
Well, we gotta put a water bottle or something like that to put in a freezer and get it in the freezer for 24 hours and see results.
What could we do to show that once something is frozen into a solid, it can go back into a liquid?
We could put solid ice with the ball in a microwave. We put it outside on a hot summer day. Let it sit there for a while.
What would turn it back into a liquid outside in the sun on a hot summer day?
Well, the ice would melt pretty fast. Because the sun's so hot, ridiculously hot.
What experiment could we do to prove that you can turn a liquid like water into a solid?
We can put the warm water into either in the freezer.
And what would that do?
Make it into solid ice.
There's a picture of water. If you wanted to turn water into a solid, which one of those two items on the page would you use? And what is that?
A freezer.
Okay. If you could circle the one that you would use. If you were to fill a cup of water up to the line and put it in the freezer,
Yeah.
what would happen to the water?
It would be the same.
It would be the same what?
Ice.
If you take the ice out of the freezer and you
Yeah.
put the cup on a table and it melts into water, will you have more water, less water, or the same amount of water as ice?
Same.
Okay, could you circle that answer? All right, so when that water freezes, what's going to happen to it?
It's going to turn into ice, and it's going to turn to solid, and see results tomorrow.
Will it turn into more, less, or the same amount of ice as water?
The same.
So, is there the same amount of ice as there was water?
Yes, and you can tell because if you see this little red line right here,
So now that this is a solid, what could we do to turn it back into a liquid?
we can put it inside the microwave.
So is there the same amount of liquid as there was solid ice?
Give it a sec. Yes.
So what's another way that you could turn a solid like ice into a liquid?
Solid to liquid. You can put it on sun, you can put it in a microwave. That's two different ways.
Yep. So this time you put it in the sun. Can you show me what happened? Did it turn into a liquid?
Yes.
And is there more liquid, less liquid, or the same amount of liquid as when it was ice?
Bingo.
Which one?
The same amount.